When we walk through the natural world, we often believe we know what we see. A tree is just a tree. A river is just a river. But if we truly look, without expectation, without judgment, nature begins to reveal something deeper. Consider the change of seasons. In spring, fresh green leaves appear, full of energy. In summer, the trees are strong, providing shade and comfort. Then, autumn arrives, and the leaves turn red and gold before they fall. Finally, in winter, the trees stand bare, waiting for spring again. This endless cycle continues, year after year, without resistance. The tree does not hold on to its leaves, nor does it refuse to change. It simply follows the natural rhythm of life. We, too, experience different seasons in our lives. There are moments of growth, times of abundance, and periods of loss. Yet, unlike the trees, we often struggle against these changes. We wish to stay in spring forever, or avoid the winter of our experiences. But nature teaches us that each season has its purpose. By accepting this, we can find peace even in difficult moments. If you sit quietly in a forest, you will notice something else. There is no rush. The wind moves gently. A bird takes flight at the right moment. A flower blooms when it is ready. Nothing forces itself to hurry. Yet, everything happens in perfect time. Modern life is fast. We are always moving, always doing, always planning. But when we slow down and observe nature, we remember that life is not a race. The tree does not rush to grow tall, yet it reaches the sky. The river does not force itself to flow faster, yet it always finds its way to the ocean. If we can see the world with fresh eyes, we begin to understand that nature is not separate from us. It is a teacher, offering quiet wisdom to those who are willing to listen. Instead of controlling every moment, we can learn to move with the natural flow of life. And when we do, we discover a quiet joy, one that has always been there, waiting for us to notice. If we take the time to observe nature closely, we will see that it speaks without words. The river, the mountain, the sky, they all carry deep wisdom. But to hear their teachings, we must learn to listen with more than just our ears. Imagine standing beside a flowing river. The water never stops moving. It bends around rocks, slips over stones, and continues its journey without hesitation. Even if a fallen branch blocks its way, the river does not resist. It simply finds another path and keeps flowing. Life is much the same. Challenges and obstacles will always appear. If we fight against them, we create suffering. But if we move like the river, adjusting, accepting, and continuing forward, we can navigate life with greater ease. Now think of a mountain. It does not move. It does not hurry. Whether the sun shines or the storm rages, the mountain remains steady. It does not complain about the wind. It does not wish to be anywhere else. It simply is. In the same way, we can learn to be present in each moment, standing firm in our lives no matter the weather of our emotions. A tree does not compete with the trees around it. It does not compare itself to others. It simply grows at its own pace, reaching for the light when it is ready. If we observe nature, we realize that there is no need to rush or compare ourselves to others. Our path unfolds naturally, in its own time. When we watch a bird build its nest, we see patience. It does not hurry or grow frustrated. It carries one twig at a time, trusting that each small action will create something strong. Often, we feel impatient in our own lives. We want things to change quickly, to improve immediately. But nature shows us that true growth takes time. By accepting this, we can move through life with greater peace. Nature is not separate from us. It is not something we simply look at. It is something we are part of. And when we open our hearts to its silent teachings, we begin to understand ourselves more deeply. There is wisdom in the river, in the mountain, in the steady work of a bird. If we learn from them, we may find a more peaceful and effortless way to live. Nature does not resist change. It embraces it. The river flows, the seasons shift, the wind moves through the trees. Nothing in nature stays the same, yet everything exists in perfect balance. When we begin to understand this, we realize that our own lives too are part of this natural flow. Many people fear change. We hold on to the past, worrying about the future, trying to control every moment. But look at the ocean waves. They rise, they fall. No wave stays forever. Yet the ocean itself remains vast and endless. Life is like this. Moments come and go. Emotions rise and pass. But beneath it all, we are still here, just as the ocean remains. A butterfly does not cling to its cocoon. A flower does not refuse to bloom when spring arrives. They follow their nature, trusting in the process of life. What if we could do the same? What if, instead of fighting against change, we could welcome it? When we release our grip on what we cannot control, we create space for something new. In the forest, no tree stands alone. The roots of one tree connect to the roots of another. A fallen leaf nourishes the earth, giving life to something else. Everything is connected, supporting one another. We too are not separate from the world around us. Every action, every word, every moment affects more than we can see. When we live in harmony with the natural flow, we begin to trust life. We no longer rush to the next thing or resist the present moment. We move with the rhythm of life, just as the river moves to the sea. This does not mean we never face difficulty. Storms will come. Strong winds will shake us. But like the deep roots of a tree, we can remain steady. Nature shows us that life is not something to be controlled. It is something to be lived. And when we embrace this, we find a quiet peace within ourselves. The river flows. The wind moves. The seasons change. And we too continue on our path, exactly as we are meant to. As we walk through life, nature remains a quiet companion, always offering its wisdom. The river teaches us to move forward without resistance. The mountain reminds us to stand steady in the face of change. The seasons show us that nothing lasts forever, and yet, there is beauty in every stage of existence. These lessons are not just ideas. They are invitations. Invitations to slow down, to observe, to trust in the natural rhythm of life. In a world that often feels rushed and uncertain, nature offers us something steady, something true, and the more we open our hearts to it, the more we discover a deep sense of peace, one that does not depend on external circumstances. Life does not ask us to be perfect. It does not demand that we control every outcome. It simply invites us to be present, to move with its flow, and to embrace each moment as it comes. Whether we find ourselves in a season of growth, change, or stillness, there is always something to learn, always a way to find harmony. For those who have taken the time to listen today, I am deeply grateful. Your presence, your thoughts, and your reflections bring meaning to this space. Many of you share your insights in the comments, and it is always a joy to read them. Others offer their support through likes, subscriptions, and super thanks. These gestures, big and small, are truly appreciated. If these words have resonated with you, I hope they stay with you as you continue on your path. May you find wisdom in the quiet moments, peace in the natural flow of life, and a deep connection with the world around you. Thank you for being here.